Hello and welcome to Maths by SAS. This is my second lesson of D3 chapter number 8, exercise 8a, that is about the trigonometric ratios of obtuse angle. In this lesson, students, we will be learning how to find the trigonometric ratios of acute angle and obtuse angle, and what is the relationship between the trigonometric ratios of acute and obtuse angle. If you recall my previous lesson, you know that we discussed that sine of the trigonometric ratio A will be equal to sine of 180 minus A. Cosine of A will be equal to minus time cosine of 180 minus A, and tangent will be equal to minus time tangent 180 minus A. We'll be beginning our class with question number 1, basic level, and question 1 says that express each of the following as the trigonometric ratios of acute angle. That we have to express the given questions as the trigonometric ratios of acute angle. So what we have to do is that in order to turn the given trigonometric ratios in form of the acute angle, we will be subtracting this obtuse angle from 180 degrees, 110 degrees, and this will give me sine 70 degrees, and this is the equivalent trigonometric ratio of acute angle. And then coming to sine 176 degrees will be equal to sine 180 minus 176, and which will be giving me 10 minus 6 is 4, and sine 4 degrees. Coming to sine 98 will be equal to sine 180 minus 98, and 180 minus 98 will give me sine 82 degrees, sine 82 degrees, and cos 99. Now look, 99 is greater than 90. It means the terminal arm is in the second quadrant. So what we have to do is that we know that in the second quadrant the trigonometric ratio cos will be negative. So it will be equal to cos or cosine 180 minus 99. 180 minus 99, and this is minus cos 81. Cos 81 degrees. Same here for cosine 107 degrees will be equal to minus cos 180 minus 107. 180 minus 107 is minus cosine 73 degrees, and cos 175 will be equal to minus cos 180 minus 175, and this is minus time cos 5 degrees. I hope, students, you are clear that why we are putting negative sign with the answers of cosine function, and why we are not putting the negative sign with the trigonometric ratios of sine, although they are also obtuse. The reason is that the sine trigonometric ratio sine, whether that is in the first quadrant or second quadrant, is the ratio of the opposite and hypotenuse, and opposite is y-axis, and y-axis parallel to positive side of y-axis. So y-axis and hypotenuse both are not negative for the trigonometric ratio sine, whether that is acute or obtuse. But the trigonometric ratio cos, when it is going in the second quadrant, has to share the negative side of x-axis, which is the base. So that's why cosine of the obtuse angle will be negative. Okay, coming to question number 2. Question 2 says that given that sine 32 is 0.530 and cos 145 degrees is minus 0.819, when corrected to 3 significant figures, find the value of each of the following without using calculator. Sine 148. The important point is that we are not supposed to use calculators at all for this purpose. So please let's begin with A part, sine 148 degrees. First of all, I have to express it in form of the sine of acute angle, and for that purpose what we will be doing, sine 180 minus 148 degrees, and this will give me 180 minus 148, and this will give me sine 32 degrees, sine 32 degrees. And now look students carefully, that answer of sine 32 degrees is already given in the question. Very easy question, 0.530. 0.530. Moving to the B part of the question, and B part is cos 35 degrees. Cos 35 degrees. So what we have to do is that we have to, as we are given with the value of cosine 145 degrees, so what we have to do, and answer is of obtuse angle, so we have to create obtuse angle in our working. So what we will be doing, that we will be writing cos minus time 180 minus 35 degrees, and when I'm taking away 35 from 180, I'm left with cos 145 degrees, and answer of cos 145 degrees is already given in the question, that is minus 819, and this will become positive. So the answer of cos 35 degrees, which is acute, will have to become positive, and it is positive. Really easy questions. Moving to question number 3, and let me read the question carefully from the book. Question 3 says that it's given that sine 45 degrees equals to cos 45 degrees equals to 0.707, and when corrected to 3 significant figures, find the value of each of the following without using calculator. And the first condition that we have to evaluate is 2 cos 45 degrees plus 3 sine 135 degrees. Okay, now look students, we are given with the value or the answer of cos 45 in the question. So we are not going to do any working for this, but if we look at sine 135, we are not given directly the answer of sine 35. Answer of sine 45 degrees is given, which is the acute angle. So first of all, we have to shift, we have to create this sine 45 degrees in our working. And now recall my previous lesson, that how to turn your obtuse angle into acute angle. 2 cos 45 degrees plus 3 sine 180 minus 135 degrees. Okay, and this will give me 2 cos 45 degrees plus 3 sine 180. 10 minus 5 is 5, 7 minus 3 is 45. Okay, 2 cos 45 degrees plus 3 sine 45 degrees. Now we are given with the values and answers of cos 45 and sine 45. This is 0.707 plus 3 times 0.707. Now what we have to do, we have to multiply 0.707 multiplied by 3. 3 is 2.121. Let me hold the calculator. 2 multiplied by 0.707, and this gives me 1.414, 1.41 and 4, 1.414, and 3 multiplied by 0.707, this is 2.121 plus 1.414, and this gives me 3.535. I hope you are clear about this situation, and let's move to the second part, and that is 3 cos 135 degrees plus 4 sine 135 degrees. Now look, here in the second question, second case, we are given with both the obtuse angles. So first of all, we have to convert these obtuse angles in form of the acute angle, which are given in the question, and recall the rule that as this is trigonometric ratio cosine, and the terminal arm is in the second quadrant, so it has to be written in the form minus 3 cos 180 minus 135 degrees plus 4 into sine 180 minus 135. I'm going really slow because these are the important lessons and basic lessons for trigonometric ratios, so that my students can understand these lessons easily. Minus 3 into cos 45 degrees and plus 4 into sine 45 degrees. Now see, the value of cos 45 degrees is 0.707 and plus 4 times 0.707. Now hold your calculator. 3 multiplied by 0.707 is minus 2.121 plus 0.707 multiplied by 4, that is 2.828. Now I have to take away minus 2.121, and this gives me 8 minus 1 is 7 and 2 minus 2 is 0 and 8 minus 1 is 7, 0.707. I hope you are clear about this question. And let's move to the last part of this question, that is cos 135 minus 2 sine 45 degrees. So cos 135, as cos is the obtuse angle, so what we have to do, we have to write it cos 180 minus 135 minus 2 sine 45 degrees. Okay, and this is minus cos 45 degrees and minus 2 sine 45 degrees. Okay, 45 degrees. Now what we have to do is that cos 45 is minus 0.707 minus 2 into 0.707, 2 times 7.707, 2 multiplied by 0.707, and this gives me 1.414 and minus 0.707. Okay, now both have the minus sign, both are negative, so what we are going to do is plus 0.707, and which is equal to minus 2.121. I hope students, you are really clear about these 3 questions. For next difficulty level, please catch me in the next class. Watch my lessons, like, share and subscribe the channel, and press bell icon to get the notification of every lesson in time. Thank you very much.